Hello, Immortal News family, and welcome back to our channel. In the last 24 hours, we have received the somber news of the passing of extraordinary talents, and today's episode is dedicated to honoring their memory. Before we start, we kindly ask for your support. If this video or the legacies of these remarkable individuals have touched your life, please consider giving this video a thumbs up as a sign of respect and remembrance. Thank you. Number 7. It is a grave mistake to think that the only function of the judiciary is to settle disputes. It is also to educate and to elevate. These words reflect the quiet power of David Souter, whose thoughtful approach to justice shaped American law for nearly 2 decades. David Souter passed away peacefully at the age of 85 in his beloved New Hampshire. Known for his intellect and humility, his work left lasting impressions on courtrooms, classrooms, and hearts. Appointed to the Supreme Court in 1990, Justice Souter surprised many. Expected to lean heavily conservative, he instead charted his own course, guided not by politics, but by principle. He stood firm in key decisions, including the landmark reaffirmation of abortion rights in Planned Parenthood versus Casey. He also dissented in the historic Bush versus Gore ruling, standing up for the democratic process. Long before the nation knew his name, Souter built a career grounded in public service. From Harvard to Oxford, from New Hampshire's Attorney General to the state Supreme Court, he rose steadily, always with integrity and quiet confidence. He served nearly 19 years on the highest court, earning respect across the political spectrum. Justices and clerks alike remembered him not only for his precise legal writing, but for his kindness and devotion to the craft of law. Never one to seek the spotlight, David Souter returned to New Hampshire after retiring in 2009. There he enjoyed a quieter life but continued to support civic education and serve on lower courts. He believed the law should adapt thoughtfully and remain rooted in justice and reason. Upon hearing of his passing, colleagues and public figures shared heartfelt tributes. One peer said, "His clarity of thought and independence inspired a generation." Another added, "His life reminds us that humility and wisdom still matter." David Souter passed after a brief illness, but leaves behind a legacy that endures far beyond the courtroom. His steady voice, careful judgments, and unwavering moral compass helped shape the law and those who uphold it. He is remembered with deep admiration and great affection. Tributes to David Souter. Number 6. Sad news. Rue in Frieden Xatar, the first Kurdish-German rapper I came across. He represented the flag, the identity, and he brought many others through. Your legacy will live on. These heartfelt words from YouTuber I Am Hawks capture what Giwar Hijabi meant to so many. Best known by his stage name Xatar, he passed away at 43, leaving behind a legacy shaped by determination, creativity, and culture. From the streets of Bonn to the heights of the German music industry, Xatar's journey was anything but ordinary. He transformed hardship into hustle, becoming a voice for those who often go unheard. Born to Kurdish parents and raised through turbulent times, Giwar's early life saw him survive prison and displacement before finding refuge in Germany. It was in Bonn that he fell in love with hip-hop, inspired by artists like Dr. Dre, and began building his musical path. As a rapper and producer, his influence reached far beyond his own songs. He founded several labels, including Alice Oder Nix Records and Goldman Entertainment, creating platforms for talents like SSIO, Schwester Iwa, K-Leem, and more. Fans connected deeply with his gritty realism and authenticity. Even prison couldn't silence him. After serving time for a robbery, he returned more focused, and his music reached millions of listeners. Tracks like Beta became cultural staples, but Xatar wasn't just an artist. He was a visionary entrepreneur. From fast food chains to hookah lounges and fashion ventures, he explored every corner of business with bold energy. His autobiography, Alles oder Nix, detailed his journey from hardship to success, inspiring many across generations. News of his passing in Cologne, peaceful and under investigation, though with no signs of violence, shocked fans and fellow artists alike. He leaves behind his loving partner of 15 years, Farva, and their 5 children. Bold, resilient, and full of heart, Xatar changed the sound of German rap and opened doors for countless others. His story is one of survival, evolution, and lasting impact. Tributes to Giwar Hijabi, Xatar. Number 5. Sometimes, the line between soldier and statesman is thinner than we think, Simon Mann once said in a rare interview. It was a reflection of a life that defied definition, shaped by loyalty, ambition, controversy, and courage. Simon Mann passed away at the age of 72 after a short illness, leaving behind a legacy that sparked both admiration and debate. Born into a family of sporting legends, Simon's path led not to cricket fields, but to global conflict zones and boardrooms. He began his journey in the Scots Guards and eventually served in the elite SAS. His deployments took him across Europe and into Northern Ireland, forging a reputation as a disciplined and daring officer. After military service, he embraced the evolving world of private security. Simon co-founded Sandline International in the 90s, one of the most notable private military companies of its time. Operating in Angola and Sierra Leone, the company became a key player in modern conflict landscapes. His influence helped shape how governments and corporations viewed military outsourcing, but it was the alleged coup attempt in Equatorial Guinea that brought him to global headlines. Arrested in Zimbabwe and later imprisoned in Equatorial Guinea, Simon's resilience was tested, and his story became one of the most talked about episodes in modern mercenary history. He was eventually pardoned and released, a free man after international appeals. Despite controversy, those who knew Simon well described him as forthright, loyal, and quietly generous. He mentored soldiers navigating life after active duty and remained active in business, serving as chairman of Hydrogen Utopia International. The company released a statement saying, "Simon was an exceptional leader whose courage and insight inspired everyone around him." Simon Mann leaves behind his wife, Amanda, and a legacy that reshaped how we understand the intersection of private enterprise and military service. He stood at the crossroads of secrecy and strategy, blending old-school valor with modern ambition. His passing is felt deeply by former comrades, business associates, and historians alike. Tributes to Simon Mann. Number 4. There was a quiet consistency to Frank Johnson, on the field and in life. Teammates recall his calm presence, his work ethic, and his deep respect for the game he loved. He wasn't always in the spotlight, but those who played beside him knew what he brought to the clubhouse every single day: heart, humility, and hustle. Frank Johnson passed away peacefully at the age of 82. A former San Francisco Giants outfielder and third baseman, he played during an era that shaped modern baseball. Over 6 seasons in the major leagues, all with the Giants, he left his mark as a trusted and steady presence. He played 192 games in the majors, collecting 92 hits, with his strongest season in 1970, when he batted 273 for the Giants after tearing up the Pacific Coast League. That year, he hit 353 in the minors before being called up, a testament to his persistence and talent. Though often supporting younger teammates or filling key roles off the bench, Johnson was part of a unique chapter in Giants history. overlapping with the final years of Willie Mays and the rise of Bobby Bonds and George Foster. His role may have been quiet, but it was essential. Before his major league call-ups, Johnson impressed in the minors, hitting over 290 in 4 of his first 7 seasons. He played professionally for 13 years before retiring in 1975, leaving behind a career that stands as a symbol of dedication. His right-handed swing, his long, lean build, and his ability to adapt made him a valuable player. But more than that, he was respected by teammates, coaches, and fans alike. "Frank had the kind of grit you can't teach," said a former teammate. "He showed up with his glove, his bat, and a love for the game that never faded." Frank Johnson may not have chased headlines, but he represented the soul of baseball, those who gave everything to a game that gave so much back. He passed away after a brief illness, surrounded by loved ones. His memory lives on through those frozen moments in left field, the crack of his bat on a summer evening, and the number on his back in vintage Giants photos. Tributes to Frank Johnson. Number 3. There was always a stillness in Ron's music, like he was listening for something greater, recalls a fellow conductor. That quiet, searching spirit defined Ronald Corp's life. At 74, he passed away peacefully after post-surgical complications, leaving behind a legacy rooted in music, faith, and service. From an early age, Ronald believed music was for everyone. He didn't just share it, he created spaces where others could discover its magic too. In 1988, he founded the New London Orchestra to breathe new life into forgotten works. With introductions that made classical music feel personal, he welcomed audiences into a world often seen as distant or elite. 3 years later, he formed the New London Children's Choir, guiding young singers through challenging works and encouraging their love of performance. The choir toured, recorded, and premiered more than 40 commissions under his watchful and gentle eye. As a composer, Ronald's range was wide. He wrote symphonies, quartets, oratorios, and even a children's opera. Many of his pieces, from radiant carols to meditations set to Buddhist texts, reflected his deep inner world and unwavering faith. Ronald's impact stretched far beyond what he wrote or conducted. Ordained as a priest in 1998, he served communities with quiet devotion, even as he led performances at major venues including the BBC Proms. Whether conducting the Royal Liverpool Philharmonic or composing in solitude, he remained centered, open-hearted, and sincere. His recordings with Hyperion helped celebrate both famous and forgotten composers, and the revival of Rutland Boughton's The Queen of Cornwall remains a landmark in British opera recordings. Ronald's generosity lifted many. As a trustee and later chair of the Giving Committee for the Musicians' Benevolent Fund, he worked to support artists when they needed it most. In 2012, he received the OBE for his services to music. For 40 years, he was part of the London Chorus family, 30 as their beloved musical director. In their words, "He was more than just our leader, he was our friend, a guiding soul who truly believed in the power of song." Ronald Corp's music continues to speak gently and powerfully, just as he did in life. Tributes to Ronald Corp. Number 2, Joop van Daele can be deployed anywhere. For me, he was the big surprise. These words from Ernst Happel, his former coach at Feyenoord, captured what made Joop special: quiet resilience, readiness, and heart. Joop van Daele, who passed away peacefully at the age of 77, left behind a legacy that still echoes in the halls of Joop. His crowning moment came in 1970. In a fierce return leg against Estudiantes, Joop scored the winning goal that crowned Feyenoord world champions. That single strike made him a legend. In those moments, glasses slipping as he celebrated, history was written. Born in Rotterdam, Joop joined Feyenoord's youth team at 13. He played forward at first, but quickly proved his worth as a defender. Known for his adaptability, he made nearly 150 league appearances for the club. Not many players became icons with so few goals, but Joop didn't need many. One was enough. He wore glasses throughout his career, a rare sight in professional football. Opponents tried to mock him, even snatching them from his face in that famous intercontinental match. Instead, his specs became a piece of Dutch football mythology. To fans, they were a badge of courage. After leaving the pitch, Joop gave back as a coach. He quietly shaped young players at Excelsior and Fortuna Sittard, never one to chase the spotlight. Though not chosen for the 1974 World Cup final squad, just making the preliminary list was a nod to his skill and work ethic. Joop wasn't the loudest voice in the room, but he was always ready, reliable, steady, and inspired. A teammate's teammate, a humble champion. Friends, colleagues, and fans remember his gentle demeanor and dry wit. He passed away following a brief illness. The news hit home for lovers of the game, especially in Rotterdam, where his name still brings a smile. Joop van Daele reminded us that greatness doesn't have to be flashy. Sometimes it just wears glasses and waits quietly for its moment. Tributes to Joop van Daele. What's trending on the internet? News 1. A Vermont hiker's story has reached a somber conclusion as rescuers discovered the body of 51-year-old Sue Mi Ko near Lake Willoughby on Wednesday. The Craftsbury resident had been missing since January 9th when she failed to return from a hike at the Mount Pisgah trailhead. After more than 3 months of searching, Vermont State Police located Mi Ko just a few hundred yards from where she began her journey. While authorities will conduct an autopsy to determine the exact cause of death, they have indicated that no suspicious circumstances are believed to be involved in this tragic incident. The hiking community and residents of Vermont had been hoping for Mi Ko's safe return since winter, with search efforts continuing despite challenging conditions. The Mount Pisgah area, known for its natural beauty, attracts many outdoor enthusiasts throughout the year. As news of this discovery spreads, many are remembering Sue Mi Ko's love for the outdoors and the Vermont wilderness she cherished. The natural spaces she explored will stand as a quiet memorial to her spirit of adventure, reminding us all to appreciate the beauty of nature while respecting its power. Our thoughts are with Sue's family, friends, and the entire Craftsbury community during this difficult time. News 2. The sports community is mourning the loss of a promising young athlete as the cause of death for UNLV football player Ben Chrisman has been revealed. The 21-year-old offensive lineman, who passed away in February, died from cardiac arrhythmia and cardiomyopathy, according to the Clark County Office of the Coroner Medical Examiner. Chrisman had experienced chest pains during practice the day before his passing, and though he underwent an EKG that was reviewed by a doctor and deemed normal, he sadly missed a workout the following day. Concerned teammates checked on him at his off-campus apartment, where they made the heartbreaking discovery. The young athlete had an impressive football journey, beginning as a 4-star prospect from Ohio. He started his college career at Ohio State before transferring to Kentucky for 2 years, and had only recently joined the UNLV Rebels in December 2024, where he quickly made a positive impact. UNLV head coach Dan Mullen spoke highly of Chrisman, saying, "Since the day Ben set foot on our campus, he made the Rebels a better program. Ben was an easy choice for our leadership committee as he had earned the immediate respect, admiration, and friendship of all his teammates. Though his time with the team was brief, Ben Chrisman's influence on his teammates and coaches will not be forgotten. The UNLV community continues to honor his memory, remembering him as someone who, in Coach Mullen's words, made the world a better place." News 3. What a startling moment on live television last night. Fox News commentator Cameron Kinsey, just 26 years old and a familiar face to many, suddenly fainted during a panel discussion about the recent presidential election. As viewers watched from home, Cameron began stumbling over her words, then quickly collapsed right there in the studio. The show's host, Jonathan Hunt, was clearly taken aback and promptly called for a commercial break, while paramedics hurried to help. Thankfully, after some tense moments, viewers were reassured that Cameron was awake, alert, and being well cared for by medical professionals. While the cause of her fainting spell isn't yet known, reports later confirmed that she was treated and cleared by paramedics, and she's said to be feeling much better. Earlier that same day, Cameron had been active online, chatting about other news, so this episode truly surprised everyone. What's really heartwarming is how quickly well wishes and support poured in from people across the internet. Friends, colleagues, and viewers alike expressed their concern, showing that no matter our differences, we can all come together in moments like these. Here's hoping Cameron takes all the time she needs to recover and returns to the screen stronger than ever. Her experience is a gentle reminder that behind every headline and debate, there are real people with real lives, and a caring community ready to rally around them. News 4. Gwyneth Paltrow's wellness empire Goop is expanding its horizons with multiple exciting events planned for wellness enthusiasts in 2025. The lifestyle brand recently announced its next in-person wellness summit, continuing its tradition of transformative experiences focused on physical, mental, and emotional well-being. Fans of Paltrow's holistic approach to health will have several opportunities to engage with the brand in the coming months. The next major Goop Wellness Summit is scheduled for May 2025, as teased by Paltrow herself in a recent social media post. This follows their successful 12th in-person summit, showcasing the brand's ongoing commitment to wellness gatherings. For those who can't wait until May, Goop will host an event in Los Angeles on November 16, 2024, at Milk Studios in Hollywood. This summit will feature expert-led talks, an Ask Me Anything session with Gwyneth, panel discussions, and a special fireside conversation. Tickets start at $1,200 for the Summit Pass, with exclusive American Express weekend passes available for $4,500, $4,550. In an exciting international collaboration, Goop is partnering with Australian Medispa brand Kylo for a 4-day wellness experience in Brisbane. Starting May 1, 2025, at the Star Brisbane and continuing at the Kalile Hotel, this event will bring together global experts to discuss topics ranging from sexual health to human connection. Attendees will receive Goop-curated goodie bags valued at over $500. For those seeking more intimate wellness experiences, Hotel Lituani in St. Barth has introduced the Goop Beauty Suite, offering guests an immersive wellness retreat featuring Paltrow's favorite Goop beauty products in a luxurious Caribbean setting. Marriott International has also joined forces with Goop, launching Sleep Training for Grown-Ups, a 3-part video series designed to help travelers improve their sleep quality with insights from top wellness experts. These varied offerings demonstrate how Paltrow's vision of holistic wellness continues to resonate with audiences worldwide, creating unique opportunities for fans to experience the Goop lifestyle philosophy in person throughout 2025. News 5. In a heartbreaking development that's making headlines today, a routine C-section procedure to deliver twins took a tragic turn. On May 9, 2025, Maura, a mother expecting twins, experienced severe complications following what initially appeared to be a smooth delivery. After successfully giving birth to her twins, Maura began suffering from nausea while her blood pressure remained dangerously high. Medical emergencies during childbirth remind us of the risks that can sometimes accompany even routine procedures. While most C-sections are performed safely every day across America, Maura's story highlights how quickly circumstances can change during what should be one of life's most joyous moments. This news comes at a time when many families are sharing their own twin birth stories, both challenging and triumphant. From emergency deliveries like Beyoncé's with her twins Rumi and Sir, to YouTube personality Colleen Bollinger's emergency C-section with her twins in 2021, these experiences showcase the unique medical considerations that come with multiple births. The medical community continues working diligently to improve maternal health outcomes, especially for mothers of multiples who face higher risks during pregnancy and delivery. Maura's twins will carry forward their mother's legacy, and our thoughts are with the family during this difficult time. Her story serves as a powerful reminder of the strength of mothers everywhere and the precious gift of life they bring into this world. News 6. Country music legend Alan Jackson continues to inspire fans despite his ongoing battle with Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease, a condition he's been courageously facing for over a decade. The 66-year-old Hall of Fame artist first revealed his diagnosis in September 2021 during an appearance on the TodaY show. "I have this neuropathy and neurological disease," Jackson shared during that interview. "It's genetic that I inherited from my daddy. There's no cure for it, but it's been affecting me for years." Despite these health challenges, Jackson hasn't stepped away from the spotlight completely. He's currently on his last call, one more for the road tour, which he describes as fans' final opportunity to see him perform live. The tour, which began in 2022, is scheduled to continue throughout 2025. Just recently, in March 2025, Jackson made a special appearance at the Grand Ole Opry House in Nashville for its 100th anniversary celebration, delighting fans with a performance of his 1993 hit, Chattahoochee. Charcot-Marie-Tooth disease is a genetic neurological condition that causes damage to the peripheral nerves. While there's no cure, various therapies can help manage symptoms, allowing those affected to live as independently as possible. Throughout his remarkable career, Jackson has sold over 75 million records worldwide and charted 35 #1 country hits. His contributions to music earned him induction into the Country Music Hall of Fame in 2017, cementing his legacy as one of country music's most beloved storytellers. Even as he navigates this health journey, Alan Jackson continues to share his music and inspire millions, reminding us all of the power of perseverance and the enduring impact of following your passion against all odds. Number 1. Let's get it done. That simple phrase summed up Jim Spenst's approach to life. A leader in every sense, Jim didn't just serve, he inspired, mentored, and built a legacy of courage and heart that stretched far beyond his beloved Saskatchewan. At just 17, Jim stepped into history, joining the Royal Canadian Army Service Corps during World War II. He played a vital role in the liberation of France, an act of service ultimately recognized with France's highest honor, the Legion of Honor. That late-in-life tribute spoke volumes about the quiet valor he carried for decades. But Jim's story didn't end with the war. When he returned home, he gave that same energy to his community. He was a coach, an umpire, and a mentor. From Estevan's junior football fields to community baseball diamonds, he shaped young lives with firm guidance and an encouraging word. In the Royal Canadian Legion, he was more than a member, he was a cornerstone. As president of the Estevan branch, Jim mentored future leaders and helped keep remembrance traditions strong. He was the kind of man who stood every year at the forefront of Remembrance Day ceremonies, not for recognition, but because it mattered. Only 2 years before his passing, Jim proudly stood in Normandy for the 80th anniversary of D-Day. He carried the Estevan flag with pride, representing not just his town, but the spirit of so many who served. Jim Spenst passed away peacefully at the age of 99. His loss is deeply felt by friends, fellow veterans, and all who admired his strength and generosity. He was a go-getter, a let's-get-it-done type, said fellow Legion leader Jim Frosty Forrest, and he led by example. Bird, a longtime friend, remembered him fondly. He was quite a character, always excited and proud to represent Canada. He'll be missed by all who knew him. Jim leaves behind not only memories, but a legacy of service, mentorship, and courage. His life reminds us that real heroes often wear no cape, just a uniform, a smile, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. Tributes to Jim Spenst. There's something about a scene that's just two people in a room. If you do it right, it can be more powerful than an explosion. James Foley lived by those words, crafting stories that didn't rely on spectacle but on truth, tension, and the power of human conversation.